So, welcome and thank you for coming again today. Did anyone have anything they wanted to share? Any insights, any questions that came up before we begin? Well, maybe a few more people might arrive. Yes, Elizabeth.
Hi. It's just, I was thinking of you around 5 o'clock or so because I was on a Zoom call at town hall with Marianne Williamson,
Oh, I love
and
her.
there was a young woman who came on and said she had been watching Fox News a lot and she was starting to get convinced that the fraud and Marianne was so gracious and so compassionate and loving. She listened. Everyone on the chat was like, "What the heck?" Yeah, like and Marianne, cool as a cucumber because she meditates every day. That's what I was thinking.
Yes. And that's the thing. In fact, that's one of what I want to talk about is tonight is, thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Marianne Williamson is a perfect example of someone who's been dedicated to this practice of, I would say, the awakened one, someone, although I've met her before, she wasn't so friendly to me, but she was like surrounded by thousands of people. So I tried to talk with her, but it was difficult because she was, and I understand. But yeah, it's definitely the practice of meditation will help you in situations that are, oh, good, Kathy made it in situations that are, stressful, and in situations, sometimes you get stuck in a line, right? Hello, Kathy, you made it. I'm so happy you made it, Kathy. Welcome, welcome. So sometimes you might be stuck in a line and you're really impatient. Hello, Susie, welcome. Let's see your face, Susie. I just see the top of there you go. There you go. Susie's beaming in from England. And wonderful to see you. So I was saying when I was stuck in a traffic jam on the highway in Montreal on the Highway 40, and it was so slow. And when you're in those situations, there's absolutely nothing you can do. You can't fly. I don't have a flying car. I could not get out of the situation. So I did was I connected to my breath, connected to my heart, and then I used my imagination to help me get through the situation. And what what my imagination is helps me a lot. I pretended that I was part of a big snake. And I thought, if I am part of a big snake, I have to move slow. And it actually helped me get through that situation. Instead of going into impatience, I just pretended I was part of a big snake. So, you might remember that one day. But so did anyone else want to say anything? Any other insights or questions that came up in the last? Yes, Catherine. Oh, you're on mute. You're muted, honey.
I had
Yeah.
a very nice dream this morning.
Oh, good.
I don't know if it was related, but it was being very bodily free in a nice place. So maybe,
Bodily free?
yes, running around like an 8-year-old outdoors.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah,
That is a good dream to wake up to.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. So, one of the things that we talked about was mindfulness and self-awareness. And the other thing, that is all playing in our minds these days is the situation in the world, where we have this feeling of like, oh my God, what's going to happen? This is like, you know, the word war is like, oh my God, it's freaky, right? It's scary. But one of the things that I dedicated my life to when you know who became president was I thought I'm just going to stay in the state, master my state in loving compassion. And I am going, because the energy of loving compassion and joy are the highest frequencies. And that is where we have the power of manifesting. If we're in the lower frequencies of fear, anger, rage, we cannot manifest what we want to manifest, which is a better world, right? We all dream of a better world. And so there was a scientific experiment where they measured the frequency of people like in the high state going into a room of people in a lower state, like a lower energy. And if the person in a high frequency is able to maintain their high frequency, the lower energies actually rise.
Hmm.
If you go in a room and you're in a high state and you go in a room and you allow yourself to go into the lower frequencies, you feed the fear, you feed the lower frequencies. So that's when I decided that, okay, my job is just to stay in a high frequency always. And when I did that, it really changed my life. It really, I felt more joy, more peace, inner peace, even when there's chaos all around. And, we all want peace in the world, but to have peace in the world, we have to be peace. We have to find that peace within ourselves. And it reminds me of when I was in India, um, very focused. My mind was very focused on enlightenment and what is God and what is it? Like I was all doing all these questions. And I was reading about some guru who does bilocation. He can appear in two places at the same time and he can manifest things. And this sounds crazy, right? But I've experienced miracles of manifestation of spirit. And so I was reading about this man this guru, and I looked out into the ocean. I was sitting at a beach and I saw all this garbage floating around. And I was like, oh my God, that's so horrible. Look at all the garbage out there. Oh, it made me feel, bad, right? But then I grabbed my bag of chips and I was like, oh, I'm contributing to the garbage. This bag of chips is like those bags in the ocean. So I had that awareness of how, eating chips in those bags contributes to the garbage. And then I continued reading my book. And then I looked out again. And I had to shake my head because the garbage changed. It was a different, it was a different, there wasn't as much garbage and they seemed to be smaller pieces. And I was like, that's odd. There's no waves. There was no crashing waves. It was very, very calm. So I thought it was odd and I went back to reading my book. I looked out again. I swear to God, the garbage had changed again. And this time it was in teeny tiny pieces and there was hardly any garbage. And then I received a message from my soul or from God or wherever these messages come from. We don't really know, but that benevolent voice that I talked about the other day, the voice said, the garbage out there can be taken care of like this, but you have to clean in the garbage here before the garbage out there. It said something like you can solve the problem of garbage when you solve the problem of garbage in your heads.
Mhm.
It's written down in some journal I wrote, but I'll never forget that because it was logically did not make sense that what I was seeing was happening. But I was in a state of, I had been meditating like 2 hours a day for 6 months. I was like in a very, very high frequency. And I was experiencing all kinds of miracles and strange things were happening and synchronicities. So if we want peace out there, we have to continuously be peace inside. So that brings me to the concept of equanimous mind. So how many have heard of the concept of equanimous mind? Catherine, Elizabeth, yeah, Kathy. So it's the concept that it basically means mental calmness, evenness of temper, but especially in a difficult situation. So it's accepting the good and the bad with equanimity. It's getting that eagle perspective where you're like not caught up in the drama, but you're just like observing. Maybe you know that story. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's bad. Do you know the story about the man who gets the horse and he receives the horse and then the horse gets sick and first he doesn't wait, I better get the story right. I'm going to mix it up. I'll get that story for tomorrow. But it's just the idea of we don't know why things are happening. So sometimes a bad thing can prevent we think it's bad, but in actual fact it leads to good. Like we were going to a concert in Japan and my friend forgot to fill up her radiator with water, so her engine blew up. And we were so angry at her because we had tickets for this concert. But you know what? Because of her radiator having that explosion or whatever happened, we had to get another car and we had to go the next night. But because we went the next night, we got invited to the party with all the famous musicians. So it worked out better. So had we just said instead of being mad at her and like, oh, how could you have been so whatever we said, I don't remember what we said. Instead of being mad at her, we could have just said, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. Let's see what happens. And that's the state of equanimity. And it's a concept in Buddhism to always remain in that state. And I practice that on a daily basis to maintain equanimous mind. So I just want to review because some of you are new to, like Kathy, this is your first night, but everyone else has been to the other nights, other classes. Oh, and Karen, I don't see Karen. Where is Karen? Karen, come on camera, please, so we can see you. Are you there?
That's the next step.
Okay. I'm going to mute Catherine. All right. So, to help you focus on your breath, tonight I'm going to help you a little. We're going to do a chakra meditation with a toroidal field activation, which is your energy field around you. But then I'm going to go into silence. So when we go into the silence to help you focus on your breath, you're going to practice the Ujjayi breath, which if you all remember, and maybe Kathy, you know this already. Do you know what the Ujjayi breath is? Okay, so I'll just tell you what it is. So the Ujjayi breath is like as though you're breathing on a mirror, like, and it comes from your throat. And it makes condensation on the mirror. Instead, you do that through your nose. So it's like, so there's an audible sound when it's sort of more here. Because we don't normally make sound when we breathe, but you can make a sound by forcing it a little bit, like as though you're uh, breathing on a mirror. So that's very helpful to help you hear your breath so you can go breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. The other thing I taught you was the mantra, which is Amaram Hum, Maduram Hum. So I'm going to put in Amaram Hum so you can see how it's Amaram Hum, Maduram Hum. So that's the mantra that I learned from a guru that I spent time with in India. And it means I am blissful, I am immortal. And so that can help you focus on your breath in, breath out. The other concept I shared was the thought train concept. Thoughts come like trains, and you can either keep following each thought that comes in, or you can focus on the center, and the train just becomes a blur. So anytime you notice you're on a thought train, just come back to breathing in, breathing out. Come back to this center spot. The other thing that I use a lot to help me keep focused is the concept of waves in the ocean, ebbing and flowing. So when you fill up your belly and you fill up your heart space, it's waves coming in when you fill up and waves going out when you breathe out. Now you might do any combination of these at different times during the, we're actually going to meditate 25 minutes today. So does that sound like a lot, or does that like, no problem? How many think that's a lot? Okay, so it'll go by quicker because I'm going to be guiding you through part of it. But tomorrow I'm not gonna guide you, and we'll do the same 25-minute time without the guided meditation. But this time I'm gonna support you with the chakra meditation. So before we go into that, we're gonna do a little prep to make sure our nostrils are clear. So just put your finger on the right nostril and breathe in and out through the left. You might need a Kleenex. And then try the other one. Okay. So it's always good to have a Kleenex. Now we're going to do the fire breath to prep for our session. And the fire breath is in and out through your nose, and you're going to be filling up your belly, and it's like you're really using your diaphragm. So the breathing is in, out. Can you hear me, or can you get that? So I'm breathing in and out of my nose very quickly. It takes practice. Like sometimes you get it, you miss the step, or it's like if it doesn't feel fluid or whatever. But the more you practice, the easier it gets. But besides the fire breath, we're going to add our hands. So these are our little paws. Imagine these are our paws. And then we're going to reach up to this, up above our heads, straight up with our hands open as much as you can, and come down. If you can only go that far, it's okay. Just do as much as you can. So with each time you pull up and down, you're breathing in and out, in and out, in and out. Now we're going to do 3 sets of 30, okay? And in between the 30, we're going to rest our hands on our lap, just open palms, resting on the lap. So here we go. And and rest. Good job. Good job. Okay, just take a couple of breaths in and out. Roll your neck a little bit to release any tension you have in your neck. Let's just roll our shoulders up and down. All right, get your paws up. And here we go. And resting on your lap. It might be hard right now if this is the first time you've done this. And just rest, take your breath in. And release with ah. Okay, ready? Pause up and do as much as you can. And resting on your lap. Good, good. Okay, and now I'm going to share with you the first day we did the mudra the basic mudra like this, holding your hands like that. So you can do that if you want. But there's another mudra that I wanted to teach you yesterday, but I forgot. I had it all set. And it's what's it called? Hold on. Can't find the card. This is a simple one, but it's to do with the solar plexus. And it's this one. So you're going to take your thumb and your second finger. And so instead of the first finger, it's the second finger. And this one is called the Surya Mudra. And it's with clarity, personal power, and self-esteem. It supports digestion and aids in the assimilation of life experiences. It increases metabolism and detoxification. So, and the focus is my inner light is vibrant, luminous, and alive. So I thought that would be a good one for us today. But you can choose. You don't have to do that one if you want to do the first one, if that's easier, but you can also do this one, the Radiant Mudra, on your lap. All right, so we're going to begin, and I'm going to guide you through a chakra meditation, and I'm going to activate your toroidal field and we're going to do a prayer for the world as well. And at the end, we're going to do 3 Oms. And when you say the it's try to equal ah, oo, to make those sounds spread out equally over over the breath. All right, so feet flat on the ground, or if you're sitting in lotus position, spine is erect, and breathing in on 4, nice and slow, filling your heart space and your belly, nice and slow. Pausing at the top, 2, 3, 4, and out through your nose, all slowly. Pausing at the bottom, 2, 3, 4, breath in. Pausing at the top, 2, 3, 4, and emptying. Nice slow breaths in and out. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in on slowly. Pausing at the top, 2, 3, 4, and slowly releasing. And now I invite you to send a root down from your spine all the way through your chair, through the floor, through Mother Earth, down, 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 down. You can visualize your root going all the way down through the layers of Mother Earth, all the way down to the center of Gaia. And imagine at the center of Gaia, there's a beautiful rose quartz crystal, even though we know that's not what's in the center of Mother Earth. We're just going to use our imaginations that it's a beautiful rose quartz crystal that is going to fill us with unconditional love every time we take a breath in. And we're going to drink it up like we're drinking up, like the trees drink up water from the earth. So with each breath in, you're breathing up unconditional love, and you can see the color pink and visualize unconditional love as you breathe in. And breathe out. Continue to breathe at your own pace, making sure that your belly is filled and your heart space, your lung area is also filled with each breath. And the next breath, when we breathe in, I invite you to imagine there is a beautiful red lotus flower facing upwards in the bottom of your body, in the root chakra. And as you drink up this beautiful pink unconditional love light, you can visualize it swirling around this beautiful red lotus flower and visualize the opening of the petals and this bright, beautiful red, a deep, deep crimson red. And just visualize this beautiful lotus flower spinning to the right, facing upwards in the seat, in the core, in the bottom of your body. And on the next breath, drink up the beautiful unconditional rose colored light from Mother Earth, bringing it all the way up through your root system, through your root chakra, into your sacral chakra, where lies a beautiful lotus flower. And as this pink unconditional love light begins to swirl it around, you can visualize a beautiful orange lotus flower opening its petals, gently spinning in your womb space. And now, in the next breath, as you drink up this pink unconditional love light from Mother Earth, see it coming up your roots all the way through your root chakra, through your sacral chakra, into your solar plexus, activating the beautiful yellow lotus flower with the color of yellow so bright it's like the sunshine or a sunflower, opening up in the center of your body as this beautiful pink love light begins to swirl it around to the right. So now you have the red lotus flower, the orange lotus flower, and the yellow lotus flower all gently spinning to the right, facing up. And now, as you take a deep breath in from Mother Earth, visualize this pink light coming all the way up through your root, through your sacral chakra, into your solar plexus, and going all the way up to your heart chakra. You can place one of your hands on your heart and visualize a beautiful lotus flower with the color of green, like in the springtime when the leaves are just glowing with luminescence as they begin to come out of the branches. And on the next breath, I invite you to visualize this beautiful unconditional love coming all the way up from the center of Mother Earth, through your root system, up through the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart space, and now it's coming all the way up to your throat chakra, where lies a beautiful blue lotus flower, opening its petals and gently spinning to the right. And on the next breath, we're going to drink up this beautiful unconditional love from Mother Earth that provides everything for us. drinking it up, filling up your whole core all the way up like a glass of water, filling up with this beautiful rose-colored light all the way up to your third eye. And imagine an indigo colored lotus flower, deep, deep purple, opening up. A beautiful lotus flower, your third eye, space, spinning gently to the right. And on the next breath, drinking up this unconditional rose colored light, imagine it sparkling through your whole body like iridescent rose colored, coming all the way up to your crown chakra. And the crown chakra can be white or violet. So, whichever, it could be an iridescent combination of white and violet, or whatever comes to you in terms of the color, as the lotus flower opens up its beautiful petals and begins to spin to the right. And just take a few breaths to visualize these 7 lotus flowers within you, feeling their color swirling around in each chakra. And now I invite you to imagine a beautiful pillar of golden light coming from the cosmic sun, coming all the way through your crown chakra like a pillar of light going through the core of your body, through your head, through your third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral, and your root, all the way into Mother Earth, so that heaven and earth are connected. The masculine and the feminine energies are connected, and you are the bridge. You are the rainbow bridge. And now, with the next breath, I invite you to take another drink from Mother Earth, like a tree, bringing it up through your roots all the way through your body. Now it's shimmering with this golden light as well, rose gold shimmering through your every cell in your body, until it comes right out the top of your head and shoots all around you in all directions like a fountain of iridescent light, coming all the way around you in all directions. You're a fountain of this beautiful light, and you can see it splashing to the ground, returning to Mother Earth. And then you drink it up again and just continue to drink it up until it shoots out of your head and splashes all around you like iridescent, sparkling rose gold light back to the earth, in this reciprocity between human and earth, between masculine, feminine, human. And you can just keep this image going of being a fountain of this beautiful rose gold light with all these different colors inside of you lit up. And then you can begin to fill this fountain of light that, like a ball around you. You're like Glinda the witch in her ball, in her bubble. And you're filling the whole bubble with this beautiful golden rose colored light. And it begins to grow bigger and bigger and bigger until it's bigger than your house or where you live. And continually seeing it grow bigger and expanding more and more and more until your state or province or wherever you are is encompassed in this beautiful bubble. And continue expanding it until you are expanding it to encompass the entire planet. And you can see the entire planet shimmering with this golden rose colored light, unconditional love everywhere, with you at the center. And just placing one hand on your heart. And just imagine the back of your heart towards the back of your body. This is called your high heart. And just take a moment to think of all the beings in the world that are suffering right now. All the animals, all the birds, the trees, the plants, the waters, the humans, the children, the women, the men. And just give compassion, send loving compassion to all the beings in the entire planet. And now bringing that bubble closer to you, back to about an arm's width around you. And just take a moment to think of all your family, pets, friends, people closer to you. You might know somebody in your community that is grieving, or somebody who's fighting an illness, or someone who's mentally suffering. Just hold them in your heart, sending them loving compassion. And now just take some time to focus more on your own path, on your own journey of healing. And just send yourself compassion. You can place one hand on your womb and keep one hand on your heart. Just have compassion for all that you're going through, all that you've been through, and all that you will be going through and becoming. And now you can bring the fountain back and just imagine the petals from your crown are just closing up. They're returning to their resting position, closing up the third eye chakra, the lotus flower, closing up the petals in your throat, in your heart, in your solar plexus, in your sacral chakra, and in your root. And then just placing your hands on your lap in whichever mudra you would like to hold your hands. And for the next few minutes, we're going to go into silence. Slow breath in. Breathing again slowly. And once more. Bringing your hands in prayer, nodding in namaste, rubbing your hands together to create heat, and just gently rub your head, rub the back of your neck. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes to come back to this awakened state. So I wanted to say about, before we go into the Q&A, I just wanted to say that when I say equanimous mind, it does not mean you can't have anger or feel sad or grief. But when you do have those strong emotions, process them in your own way instead of spewing them on the person in front of you. Notice when they're coming up, if you need to stomp your feet, if you need to release the energy. Sometimes I scream in my car. It's a good way. Sometimes I stomp on the ground or punching a pillow. But instead of taking it out on another human, process them and release the energy. You can also shake, just shake off the energy. If you're feeling frustrated, get centered. And before you have a conversation with someone, make sure you're centered. So does anyone have any questions or something they'd like to share? Yes, Tiara.
I just wanted to share that I think the meditation was beautiful.
Oh,
I noticed when I first started meditating, my mind and thoughts was like all over the place. But then eventually I found there was peace and stillness.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And were you able to maintain seeing the lotus flowers and seeing the fountain and seeing the gold? Was it, some people have an easy time with that and some people have a hard time with that.
I follow along, but yes, when you first started speaking, I trying to visualize it, but eventually I did, and it was beautiful. So thank you.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, Tira. Thank you. Anybody else? Everybody's so pieced out. Brenda?
And it did go very quickly. I was very surprised when you called back to breathing.
I'm very happy to hear that, because sometimes when you're meditating, 10 minutes can feel like an hour. And sometimes when you're meditating, 25 minutes can feel like 10 minutes. So I'm glad that that it went by. It didn't feel like long. You weren't getting agitated.
When I first started doing yoga, I was invited to a meditation night, and it didn't occur to me that they were all much longer practicing. And I went there and we went into lotus on the floor and we sat there for a solid hour. And after about 15 minutes, I was in so much pain. I stayed still.
Wow, you got through the hour?
I did. I was horrified to upset this room of 20 people that were all gurus, and we had chai tea waiting for us with raw almonds. And yeah, no, I sat there and
Wow.
cried in my mind.
I know that feeling when you just like, yeah, can't do this anymore. I want to run.
I
But
didn't
you
wiggle,
stayed. Yeah.
didn't even wiggle.
Wow, that's amazing.
I was much younger.
Thank you for sharing that, Brenda. Anybody else? Susie.
Hi,
Hi.
hi. Sorry, I still can't find a little hand to put up. I've never been able to find that. Um, that was beautiful. I've done that meditation with you so many times, and it is always my favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite. It's amazing. I'm very fortunate. I can visualize very, very easily. So I see it from the very, very, very beginning. And
Mm,
it's just gorgeous.
mm,
The thing that I wanted to mention was actually from yesterday,
mhm,
because I kind of realized something that I hadn't been aware of, that I've known about for a very, very long time.
mhm.
You were talking about, now I can't remember the word you used. I know my word for it, which is bodhisattva.
Yes, Bodhisattva.
Yeah, is that what you said?
Yes. Yes.
I thought I misheard you because I thought it was pronounced slightly differently, and I wondered if I had it wrong. Yeah. Um, that vow you spoke about. Well, the strange thing about that is I must have taken the same vow when I was about 13 because I remember reading about it, especially in Buddhism,
Mm-hmm.
this harm to no creature, not even an insect, and
Mm-hmm.
to always have compassion for all living creatures.
Yes.
And I started that, it was so long ago. I was about 13. I've
Mm,
always been drawn to Buddhism and Hinduism, and that's been with me. But I remember making myself a promise that where it was within my power and never to cause harm, I wouldn't. But I didn't know that it was a vow you could take anyway. Am
interesting.
I explaining that correctly?
So you didn't know you didn't know
I
it was a
didn't know.
Bodhisattva vow.
I didn't know it was that.
Right. But you decided
I
that you
didn't
did.
understand the word bodhisattva in those days.
Right.
I still don't understand it exactly, although I've got a clearer understanding than I did then. But the vow you were talking about is, I made that a
Mm,
long time ago through
well,
reading about the same things. And I just thought, oh, wow, that's amazing.
well, you are an old soul, Susie. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Ancient.
So,
Oh, yeah.
well, this is knowledge that you've remembered from past lives as well.
Yes, and that keeps happening. It's happening so much at the moment, especially.
And
It's lovely.
and we're in a time when old souls are coming back to reconnect.
Yeah,
Like we're all of us
yeah,
here are old souls, or
yes.
wouldn't be drawn to this.
No,
You know,
no,
people that are not on the spiritual path, they're like, oh, I don't want to meditate. They're not even interested.
no,
So just the fact that you're
no.
here says to me you're all old souls. And
Yeah,
there is the prophecy that all the old souls will come back to reconnect, and we're finding our tribes now with each other.
I know.
Awaken.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
then
because like you, I've known about this time all my life. I've
exactly.
always seen it. I've always seen it coming. I'm sure everybody here can resonate with that. And I'm just in awe of the fact that what I've always known and what I've always been able to see is real and it's
Yes.
here and it's now.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
nothing to do with what we've been taught of to be reality.
No. No.
The
And
reality is a mirage,
yes, the illusion, the Maya.
illusion. Yeah. Yeah.
And many people are waking up now because we're in this
Mm,
quickening right now.
yeah. It's beautiful.
Thank you,
Thank
Susan.
you. Thank you.
Catherine, did you want to say something?
Something much more mundane. Uh, First, Susie, do you have this little bar on the bottom of your screen with something that says react? Because that's where the hand thing is.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank
Second,
you, Catherine.
my,
Yep.
sto-
Got it. Thank you.
my stomach has been upset today, and it felt better after meditating, even though my husband started screaming on the phone toward the end.
Oh, well,
Nothing I can do about that.
those are the sounds that you can use to go deeper.
And not at this point. But it was okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad your stomach feels better.
Yeah.
And I want to get a picture of us. So everybody lean in. I don't know, Karen, if you want to come on the camera and be in the picture. Karen and Alexis, come on in the picture. I didn't know you were there. I didn't see you, Alexis. Okay, if you're not coming, then I'm gonna just take a picture anyway. So, all right. So everyone, oh, there's Alexis. Yay. All right, everyone. Oh, there's Ziona. Ziona. Oh, hi, sweetie. Okay, ready? Leaning in and beautiful. Oh, oh, there it is. I love it. Thank you, Lex, for coming on. Did you want to share anything, Alexis?
No, I didn't have anything to share. That was a beautiful meditation. I agree with Susie. Like that's one of my favorite meditations. Going,
Yeah.
watching the lotus
Yes,
open each one and just connecting.
yes.
I was actually last night. I was doing a meditation where you breathe in to connect above your crown,
Mhm.
and then you exhale and you bring it back into your heart or to your solar plex, and then you exhale down. Yeah, you
Into
go down and connect to earth, and then you
beautiful.
breathe up, connect, and go that way. So like
Beautiful.
you keep coming back to
Yeah.
your heart center or to your solar plex. So I did that yesterday, and then I ended, and you kind of talked about it yesterday, and then we did a meditation today that was opening up each lotus. So it's just kind of interesting, like all the synchronicities for me.
Yes.
It's fun watching. I was just like, ooh, I'm in the right place. That's how I always feel.
And I shared with you, I don't know if you did you it's
Hmm.
the mudra that I shared for the solar plexus.
Yes.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah. So the one we did yesterday is the first finger and the thumb. The one
Hmm.
we did today is the middle finger, and that's for the solar plexus. It's almost
Yeah.
like a new peace sign. Woohoo.
Right.
People won't know what we're doing.
Yeah, they were well, she kind of went deep into the solar plexus and just acknowledging that, and we're kind of getting ready to go into a Aries eclipse as well. So
Exactly. Exactly. And I was going to talk about that tomorrow as well because talk more about the eclipse. So,
nice.
um
Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you for sharing, Lex. And I just want to read this quickly from Paramahasana Yogananda. Now he uses the word God, and so I use the word Great Spirit, like I said before, but he says it's the same thing, basically. We have come down from God and we must reascend to him. See, I always have a hard time with the him because I think God is not just him, right? So, but I'll read what it says. We have seemingly become separated from our Father, and we must consciously reunite with him. Yoga teaches us how to rise above the delusion of separation and realize our oneness with God. The poet Milton wrote of the soul of man and how it must regain paradise. That is the purpose and the goal of yoga, to regain the lost paradise of soul consciousness by which man and woman knows that he and she is and ever has been one with spirit. So that's our journey here. We come from spirit and then we become human. But while we're human, our journey is to remember that we're one before we go back to the oneness. And that when we live from our infinite self, we can be equanimous and be more in a loving state. So tomorrow is going to be an early class because I wanted to give people who couldn't come to the night class a chance to join in the morning. So tomorrow is Friday, tomorrow and Saturday will be at 10 a.m.
Oh,
and Eastern time. So I hope you'll come. Oh yeah, the mudra must have helped with digestion. Yes, this is a good mudra for digestion.
oh
And
no.
Sissy said she's surprised at how quickly it went by. So tomorrow we're going to do another 25 minutes, but this time I'm not going to guide you, but what I am going to do is I'm going to send you Reiki. So we're going to tune into if you feel a shift in energy. I'm not going to tell you when I'm going to do the Reiki, but it's to help you develop that extrasensory perception around energy and just see if you feel something different when I send the Reiki. All right. So I hope to see you all tomorrow and have a beautiful night. Thank you so much for coming. And I'll put this replay in the group. I've already put the day 1, day 2 replay in the group. But I hope you'll come tomorrow as well. All right. So namaste, sisters, and have a beautiful night. All right. And sweet dreams.